it's Ray from Understanding Boys. As we start to head out towards the end of the year and restrictions are lifting and our kids are becoming more connected, which is fantastic, we're also mindful that with summer, particularly down here in Australia, our kids are going to be put into positions where, we might want to think a little bit about what they're going to be doing, who they're going to be relating to, what they're going to consume, and so on. Of course, I'm referring to end-of-year parties and birthdays and catch-ups, particularly for the kids as they start to head into territories where normally as parents we're quite connected, particularly in the primary years, to other parents. But then as our kids develop and change schools, sometimes we don't know everyone as well. And there's always this layer of, yeah, but, so-and-so can go, or, it's really uncool. You don't want to be uncool as a parent. You don't want to be the one ringing up and checking that everyone's safe and so on. But safety is actually a real concern because we know that risk-taking behaviour, we know that, kids unsupervised with alcohol it's a really bad mix or other. As part of this resource, we put together a position paper, which gives you a whole lot of different guidelines. And I won't touch on that now, but one thing I did want to touch on was having that conversation, the awkward conversation with your child, with your boy, with your son about, where's he headed, what's it going to be like, and what your concerns are. And that's really where I think it's important for us to start, with our concerns. And I think sometimes when you have a conversation, so we've talked about this before, but, you set up the conversation. I'd like to chat to you a bit later this week about, what's happening on the weekend, or we've got a whole bunch of parties coming up. Can we have a talk about that and what to do? And a really good guiding principle here, I think, is to own how you feel about it. Because from a boy's perspective, if you start just ranting on about all the stress and what you're concerned about, he'll receive that as, as quite negative, and he'll probably put up some blocks around it. But if you can preface it with something like you're owning it, like, I'm concerned because I know there's going to be alcohol there. I'm worried about, what happens if, you consume too much, or do you understand that, when you drink, there's some alcohol in your stomach, so that by the time you're aware that you're intoxicated, that, there's a whole bunch of alcohol still there to be consumed, you get yourself into real trouble. And I'm concerned about that. So can you talk to me about, what your thoughts are, what that might be, and how you can be safe in a space like that? And I've just found that whatever your parental guidelines are around alcohol consumption or otherwise, all the way from zero, no alcohol, till 18 or beyond, all the way through to being more permissive, actually owning our stress in this is a really useful technique. Because actually what it does for the boy as well is it starts to change his position in the conversation. He moves from the person that you're stressed about to being someone who can actually help you with your stress. Someone who can actually tell you what is a good thing to do. And then you can acknowledge that and reward that. So he'll start to problem solve. Well, actually, boy, if I see someone, I could call you. Great, that sounds fantastic. I'm not that, I know I've got sport training, I'm really interested in that. So I actually don't want to put myself in that position. And then you can start having those other conversations. What if you're offered something? What would you say? And you can role play that. Because as we know, for us now as parents, but certainly for our kids, peer pressure is a really, really big factor. So I hope this little tip is useful for you. I hope you can download the resource, the parent guide on safe partying. And if you have any questions or tips that you'd like to share, please join us on the Understanding Boys community. Thanks again and good luck.